Good morning. Where are we? Good evening. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning, wherever you are in this world, on this planet. If you're on this planet, who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of things that we don't know, but things are coming to the surface. How are y'all doing? I missed y'all. First of all, it's been a while. I think that I'm getting used to this new format that I have to do. So thank you for being patient with me on this. It has been wild. And it's always, I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with what's happening right now, eclipse season. But yeah, we'll see. We're gonna see how long this lasts. Hopefully it's not too long, but again, thanks for being patient. Happy Virgo season, by the way. Yeah, that's gonna be official. I think that's happening in a few hours. That's gonna be around 10 p.m. Eastern. Where are we? Yeah. Wow. I'm sorry, it's gonna be tomorrow. What is today? It's the 21st. Yeah, look at that. And so happy birthday, Leos that are born on the last day of Leo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. Coming up to a Virgo season. Y'all have an amazing new moon in September, by the way. And we're gonna go over the rest of August. Yeah. I wonder, how do y'all think the rest of August is gonna play out? I'm curious. Let me open up the thing where I can see y'all. Where is this? I have to do it on a different platform. There y'all are. There y'all are. But yeah, it's so great to see you. I know this is last minute. I was just about to record your video for the rest of August, but then, because it's just so late, and I'm just like, let's see if I can just catch people. It's always fun to do this in person. Yeah. So again, I hope everyone's having a really, really great day. I know the moon is in Sagittarius right now. You should be feeling really good. You feel like you want to go out there and go explore. You want to broaden your horizons. Some of y'all just don't give a, yeah, it's Friday with the moon in Sagittarius. You're going to just do your thing. Go do it. Because I'm looking at the chart and I'm seeing, pretty, yeah, but we're still there. But, a grand fire trine with the moon in Sagittarius. We've got Saturn in Aries. And then, Jupiter in Leo. Very fiery. Yeah. Moon in Sagittarius. Very nice. And then there's a lot happening, and let's dive right in. This is gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be so much fun. You know it is. So this is gonna be the rest. Yeah, the rest of August is gonna be a little different than. Actually, I didn't even get to see your comments. It's gonna be a little bit different than before. And when I say before, I mean the rest of July, the rest of June, the rest of May. We are still in eclipse season. So don't forget that. How much of y'all are feeling that? I feel like this eclipse season has had intensity, but not like the past eclipses that we've had, considering some of the major rare aspects that happen around it, especially in February, right? So there's going to be change. We're all experiencing change, and there's going to be more change than you would believe. All right. And I say that because we do have the sun on the south node. We have a lot of planets that are going to be passing through, okay, as we move into Virgo season. So And again, happy birthday, Virgos. And so what I'm going to do for this video, I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the overview of what you can expect for the rest of August. I'll talk for about an hour. And then I'm going to give the forecast for all 12 signs. But little preview. I'm going to give you a little preview of what you can expect so you can mark some dates in your calendar. And then I think I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to pull a card, yeah, for every sign. And we'll do like a little punchy, like, yeah, we'll see where you're at, okay, right now. And then tomorrow, we'll do your supersized forecast for all 12 signs. So that will be the one where we talk about everything, okay? The one today, I'll still do, but it'll just be a little preview. I'm just going to go through every sign, and I'm just going to really highlight what every sign really needs to pay attention to, because there are some signs for the rest of August, some things are going to matter more than other aspects. Okay. Now, does anybody have any questions? I feel like I'm teaching here on Great Awakener. Anybody have any questions? Anything like that? So great to see y'all. Oh yeah, y'all. Oh, Karen, thank you so much. Happy anniversary for Great Awakener. So happy to be a founding member. Thank you for being a founding member. You're amazing. It is the 1-year anniversary of Great Awakener. I launched August 12th, 2025. It's been really exciting. I haven't really made any announcements because of, everything that it's so, and a lot of y'all know, if you don't know, if you're new to my channel, if you're just brand new, like I've been going through a lot of health issues. I've had some medical complications, and let's just say physical therapy. I've had a lot of different medications. I've been on some of them that I've never been on before, some of them that don't. Anyway, it's something that is turning out to be a lifelong thing I'm learning. So I'm in the middle of adjusting and getting procedures. Yep. That's why maybe you see I have to wear this thing. It's on my, yep. It's on my neck, the back of my neck. I have it on my back. It's like a whole thing. Spinal injuries are not fun. Anyway, and that's on top of, Ruby as well. Thank you. I saw someone ask about Ruby. Ruby is also surprisingly, she surprises me. Yeah. There's been moments, and we'll find out more through Virgo season. Yeah. As you know, Virgo season, a lot of focus on work, health, and pets, right? And so a lot of big things happened to me in my health during Virgo season. I have Uranus in my 6th house, Virgo's home. A lot of surprising things, and to Ruby, who's a Virgo, and me being a Virgo moon, 29 degrees. It's a lot. So thank you for asking. And I'll probably do something big. And it's just like, I wish I could have done something really big for the 1-year anniversary of Great Awakener and Max, but I will before the month's over. I'm considering it the anniversary month, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. Y'all are amazing. And that's the reason why I had to, do this format. As a lot of y'all know. All right. So again, we'll just see. My health is, every day is different. Every morning I wake up, my health is different. I have a lot of doctor visits. Let's just keep it at that too. So it can be very draining on top of everything else. Yeah. Well, which we'll talk about. Remember, there's some things I got to tell y'all. This is the Gemini rising in me coming out. There's some things I got to tell y'all, but I can't. There's legal things, and yeah, but I'm excited to tell you when I'm able to. Okay. But yeah, so okay, here's the thing. The rest of August, where we're at now, Friday, August 21st, it is going to feel very, eat your vegetables, check off your to-do list, get your doctor's appointment. Yeah. Get a little bit more organized with work. Think about what you actually want with work. What do you want your, schedule to look like? Maybe you're even looking at, productivity apps. That's what your August is going to be like. You're going to be processing what you've been not doing the past few months, all summer long, and what you want incorporated into your life. You're going to be crunching numbers financially. Yeah. Like you're going to go back to the gym, hot yoga, things like that. Okay. A lot of you are going to be paying attention to the little details that could have slipped through the cracks through the summer, where we had the reset of civilization, of all of civilization. You had other stuff on your mind. Okay. So that's pretty much Virgo season. And honestly, the rest of August, starting now, it's going to feel like that song, Slow Ride. You know that song? Slow Ride? Y'all heard of it? Take it easy. So that's the great thing, is that we're out of that reset. We're out of all those major aspects that were so potent, the rare, once a lifetime aspects. Remember, I said in your annual forecasts way back in December 2025, I said the second half of 2026 is going to be so different. Yeah, so different from the first half. First half, well, look, we're in August. That's how fast this year has gone. Okay. Well, we've talked about time speeding up. It's literally speeding up. Consciousness expanding. So things are actually going to feel like they're slowing down a little bit comparatively to the past few months. But then things are going to get really slow. Okay. Kind of emotional too. Kind of like the first time you went to a coffee shop in Amsterdam. Yeah. That's what it's going to feel like. You're going to feel like, what's going on? I was in the zone. I was crunching numbers. I was going to the gym. I was doing my thing. And now everything's moving a little bit slow. Things are going a little sideways. I'm feeling a little emotional here. Things are going to get a little bit serious until everything kind of turns into one big hot mess. Because everything that's happening right now and through the last week of August, it's all leading up to that lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is, it's a lunar eclipse in Pisces. Remember, eclipses are game changers. They're out of your hands. You can't set intentions. You can do rituals. The eclipses put you on the path that you need to be on, whether you like it or not. It's a eclipse in Pisces. So remember, full moon lunar eclipse is a partial lunar eclipse. It's about 5 degrees, 4 or 5 degrees. An eclipse it's like 100 times stronger than a full moon. And it's in Pisces, which is it's a water sign. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. And you've had moments, your Piscean moments. Pisces is all about dreams and compassion and the arts, imagination. Really beautiful. Okay. But this is a true ending. Okay. Not only because it's a lunar eclipse, Pisces is the last sign, right? So Pisces is all about surrender. Thirdly, there's 2 T-squares built into this eclipse, which we'll talk about. And then we're going to have that. We will have Jupiter trine Saturn, which is one of the best aspects of the year. Yeah. It's in the top 10. It's amazing. But you're really, really going to have to, push things out of the way for it, because at the same time of the Jupiter Saturn trine, Mars will square Saturn. So you've got this amazing aspect that's, part of your storyline that started December 2020. Okay. The last time we had a Jupiter Saturn trine was 2014. We had a baby one, right? We had one I think it was like the end of 2025, but that's when Jupiter was in Cancer and Saturn was in Pisces. I don't think it ever perfected. But anyway, so you've got this great aspect that's flanked by something really, really strong and emotional, and a little, let's say tempers flared. On the other side of it, Mars square Saturn, which is the two malefics not seeing eye to eye. And so it's really interesting to see this, because Jupiter trine Saturn, yeah, that's the blessing in the disguise. That's the payoff, right? You're gonna be crunching your numbers. You're gonna be, going to the gym. You're gonna be eating your fruits and vegetables. Virgo season. You're gonna be processing everything, and then things are gonna start feeling a little bit emotional, a little bit heavy, right? And so once you get through that, well, you got Jupiter trine Saturn. That's amazing. The blessing in disguise through the end of August. But with everything surrounding it, it does feel like you really will feel rewarded once you get there. And you're still getting that sliver of luck, good fortune, wisdom, all of that. It is going to be your payoff. Now, Mars square Saturn, that actually happened September 1st. Okay. So we'll talk more about that in September. But technically, it is at the same time. It's, I think, within a few hours of Jupiter trine Saturn. And so it's just very interesting, because when you look at it, you've got Jupiter in Leo, trine Saturn in Aries, two fire signs, flanked by the lunar eclipse in Pisces, water sign, right? On the other side of Mars in Cancer, water sign. So Jupiter trine Saturn is going to feel like, a life raft, all right, for you. And you're going to feel really good when you get there. Now, so today's Friday, August 21st. Yeah. Why don't we start with tomorrow? Let me just pull this up. Yeah. So, oh, where did it go? Does anybody have any questions so far? So tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start today. What is it? 5:30 p.m. Let me see if anybody got questions. Celeste, thanks to Max, I've been able to handle the energies better. Some days are harder than most. I ask Max questions every day. He keeps mentioning I'm in Neptunian fog that lives August 28th. Oh boy, I'm glad. I'm so glad. And that's the other thing. There's changes that are going to be happening to Max, another version upgrade. We're currently in the middle of a build. And so if you did get something, basically there was some things in the back end that were never meant to make it to the front end. And I didn't find out till later, because I'm over here in the ER. I'm over here at the back doctor. I'm over here getting procedures. I didn't find out until later. So anyway, What I'm trying to say is, like, if you did get any funny business, that's going to change very soon, and new features coming out, all of that. But I just had to put a lot of things on hold because I really needed to prioritize my health, as many of you know, and I just didn't. And so I have to do that now. But it's really, really great to see all of y'all. Where y'all from? Okay. So here's the thing. Today we have Venus opposite Saturn. I don't mind it. I don't mind Venus opposite Saturn. This is Venus still in Libra. Yeah. And opposite Saturn. This is about 14 degrees. They perfected around 8:43 this morning. So you're going to feel this. You're going to feel this throughout the weekend. And it is an opposition, but you've got Venus in her domicile, right? In Libra, and then Saturn in his fall. So Venus is in the stronger position here. So what does that even mean for you, right? Well, a lot of you are going to have, big question marks over your head, over your commitments. And sure, this is love, this is marriage, this is business contracts. I would not be surprised if there was paperwork involved, signatures, agreements that all of y'all are working with, okay? Maybe relationships, maybe, terms of something. Whatever the case is, sure, it might be a little bit, uncomfortable. There could be something where you already feel like delays around it. You might feel that, Saturn brings that restriction. But again, Venus is in such a stronger position. You can make this work for you. All right. And yeah, even though it perfected this morning, you're still definitely going to feel it over the weekend. It's pretty tight. Money is on the table. Relationships are on the table. Literal contracts, again, likely on the table. So a lot of y'all here, there's likely something, okay, regarding a signature and, again, agreement, something like that. So something to that effect. But there may be it's not as smooth and easy as you would want it to be. Thank you, Saturn, right? The other thing is, if you've been avoiding a conversation that you probably should have and you know it, especially with an authority, a parent, a boss, a manager, your manager at McDonald's, wherever, right? Teacher, doesn't matter. You've been avoiding it. You probably had that conversation today. If you haven't, you will. All right. If not a conversation, you're going to get an email. You're going to get some sort of like heads up. This conversation has to happen. We cannot avoid this anymore. And that's where a lot of the discomfort might come in, but you're going to have to. Okay. You're going to have to. And then let me just see something here. I'm going to see when this started. I think it was April. A lot of this is because it's Venus opposite Saturn, right? A lot of this could have started, March. There could have been something that was put into place March 6th of this year. There you go. There you go. And this only happens like once a year, but it really has a lot to do with, contracts, relationships, how you feel about them as well. And a lot of it, again, think about what happened around March of this year is when something could have started. That's when we have the Venus Saturn conjunction. Okay. The other thing I want you to just kind of take away from this, because there's a sense of boundaries as well regarding relationships, regarding money, regarding, even, Venus is trying to bring diplomacy and harmony. So yes, try to make things work, But at the same time, what works for you, right? If you need boundaries for something, make them, or they'll come up. And whatever happens, if it feels like there's a sense of rejection involved, this is that aspect. It is literally Venus in Libra and Saturn in Aries. So maybe if it's like a second date or a third date that you're on or whatnot, and at the end of the night, instead of the person coming upstairs to your fourth floor apartment, right, in Queens, they're like, yeah, I think I had fun, but yeah, I just don't think this is working out. That's very possible. So this will make you feel really good. This aspect literally is, it's not you, it's me. This is the aspect. So Aries is the me sign. Yeah, it's all about me. Anyway, I hope that makes you feel better. If there is anything like that, remember, you're working with this opposition, okay? You got to find a way to make things work. But if things are not meant to work in the way that you thought or wanted, there's something better for you, all right? Clearing the way. The other thing is, think about what happened July 26th for you. That was, maybe 3 weeks ago when Saturn went retrograde in Aries. Yeah. And so he's literally just standing at this 14-degree point and has been for a really long time. So it's something, remember, he's retrograde. There's things coming back up. It could have been a conversation, a contract, love, partnership, anything long-term. Yeah. Contract. That's another date you can trace things back to. All right. So this is happening today, and you will feel it throughout the weekend. The bulk of it was this morning, though. All right. Does anybody have any questions about that? Anybody? Any questions? Okay. Great. It is. Yeah. It's an interesting time, because while this is happening, and this is the reason why I talked about this, for a lot of y'all, there's got to be the ending of things. Okay. And I'm doubling down on that. And it's going to happen over the weekend if it hasn't happened already. It's because you've got the sun conjunct the south node literally happening at the same time. And where is it now? 2850. Yeah, that's tight. So you've got the sun in Leo conjunct the south node in Leo, that 29-degree point. Yeah, 28, 29. And the perfection is actually tomorrow around 6 p.m. So you're feeling the buildup. It's the south node as well. South node takes. And so remember, the nodes, right? Rahu, Ketu, south node, north node in Aquarius, south node in Leo, as of July 26th as well. When Saturn went retrograde, they're points in the sky. Yeah. And so these eclipses happen near them. This eclipse that's happening near the south node conjunct the sun, just days away, there is a sense of release that will be happening. All right. So during Virgo season, there is also this sense of service to others, a selflessness, right? On top of the lunar eclipse in Pisces that a lot of y'all will start feeling very soon. And so remember what I said about Pisces, all about surrender. So with the south node conjunct the sun at the same time, with Mercury that's going to conjunct the south node as well, there's going to be a lot of things that change for a lot of y'all, for everybody. Okay. Remember, the north node, that is your mission statement. That's where you're going. And the north node in Aquarius, a lot of activity and emphasis in your life will be your friendships, groups, associations. A lot of it will have to do with community. A lot of it may be social media as well, but also humanity, right? The collective. That's that Aquarius energy, as well as your future goals. So you're really going to be hyper focused on what you want for your future. And the South Node is so complicated. It's the hardest thing to explain because it's really more about like your past lives. But when you look at your chart, everybody's got, North Node, South Node in your chart. And South Node is like, you don't need to do like wherever your South Node is, you've mastered it in your past lives. That's why you're good there. And whatever house it's in, you're good. Okay. And the South Node is really just, it's anything that you're carrying that you don't need anymore. And even if you don't recognize it, the universe is going to let you know. Remember, South Node takes. So South Node really becomes your old identity, and you're already going through this reset. But this is why the universe is conscious, because you're going through this reset, this massive reset that happened in February. You had a little breather, and then you had the big old reset in July, and now you've got the reset on top of the reset with the nodes moving into Aquarius, Leo at 29 degrees, that critical degree point, and where there is a sense of, graduation. There's a sense of urgency as well. And so when I've been saying out with the old, in with the new, you can't take everything with you. You can't. You're going to start seeing that. All right. And so you're going to have the sun conjunct the South Node tomorrow, but you're feeling it now on top of the Venus-Saturn opposition. I want you to think of the South Node, think of it as a void. Yeah. It just drains, and not in a bad way, not in a negative way, but that's what I mean. It's meant to take things away because you're constantly bringing new things into your life. And so you need to, right? You kind of make that space. So sometimes people are going to feel it really strongly. It all depends on your chart. It all depends on your sign. Obviously, if you're a Leo, obviously, if you're an Aquarius, if you're a Leo rising, if you're an Aquarius rising, if you're a Leo moon, if you're an Aquarius moon, yeah. But if you got planets in either of those signs, yeah, you're going to really feel it, especially if they're on that degree. Now, remember, we're talking about the Aquarius Leo axis. So you gotta bring in Taurus, you gotta bring in Scorpio, yeah, because they're gonna be aspected, as in square. And so we'll talk about it through every sign. That's the thing. I feel like I'm teaching a class here, but now it's starting to cross my mind. Like every time I do your forecast, it always felt like I was teaching, but I love that. Well, I have I don't know if y'all know this, but my sun and my Venus and my midheaven, I have a triple conjunction with my sun, my Venus, my midheaven in Aquarius in the 9th house. So maybe it just comes naturally, but 29 degrees, okay? The anaretic degree, the last degree of a sign of like, there's nothing after this. There's nothing after. All right. You're moving into a brand new sign, a brand new energy. So what happens when you got the sun in Leo conjunct the South Node in Leo at 29 degrees? Well, it's a little different this time because you have the Venus-Saturn opposition happening at the same time. You're moving right into the Virgo season, right? The sun's going to cross over, move into Virgo, 0 degrees. But what's there? Regulus. Yeah. Leo's fixed star, the royal star. that moved into Virgo back in 2011, which we have not ever experienced before, right? Because, yeah, blame it on the precession of the equinox. So that's a lot happening in this short window over the weekend. So the fact that you have the sun, your life force, right? The sun, vitality, your purpose, all of that, sitting on the point of fate, yeah, of release, of karmic release, past patterns, all of that, the old you. While Venus is cheerfully at home opposite Saturn, planet of karma, you can see it's a highly karmic weekend. Highly karmic. Okay. So what's meant to happen is meant to happen. And again, it's almost like you will know. When you know, you know. But a lot of y'all are going to be like, oh, I don't even care because the moon is in Sagittarius. You just want to have some fun. And do. Go have fun. Go explore. Go travel. Go do your thing. Okay. But that's the moon in Sagittarius tonight. Yeah. That's the other thing, which we'll talk about, because tomorrow around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, about the time that yeah, let me just see. Yeah, there it is. Basically right before we move into Virgo season, the moon will move into Capricorn. And so when I say this is a highly karmic weekend, you got the moon in Capricorn now. Who rules Capricorn? Saturn. And so this is almost like there's tomorrow, you will feel this sense of something's fated, something's destined, something's got to go. With the sun conjunct the South Node, you know that's a lot of those lower expressions of Leo, which is what? Pride and ego and the thing that you perform. Yeah. You've got to let that side go in order to have others see more of your authentic self, your authentic side. Okay. It could also be, something that has to do with a creative project that you're working on that is highly integrated into who you are. Yeah. Leo is your stage, your spotlight, your visibility. And so for some of y'all, again, it's not going to be like completely like, okay, I got to give this up. Yeah. Like tattoos. I'm done. It could be just an adjustment. It's like you finished one stage, you moved on to the next. Yeah. So it can be really great. And it could be the thing that sets you free. It could be something that was smothering you and you couldn't say anything, right? It could have been a creative project you've been working on where there have been, too many cooks in the kitchen. Like the Five of Wands. So many voices. There could be some adjustments there. Remember, South Node's faded. And a lot of the times, and I've talked about this, everyone experiences this, right? It happens to everyone. Every sign feels it differently. And sometimes it's not about you. If you're, watching for your sun sign or whatnot, sometimes it can be involved with someone within your orbit, right? It could be your colleague that decides to suddenly quit. And that's the South Node taking that, right? From your daily routines while we're in Virgo season. at work. And so now you're adjusting to that, right? It could be someone that's a little, speaking of Virgo season, if you have a partner that's a little, micro managing, a parent or a literal manager. Yeah. Your manager at Turtle Records. That's what I'm saying. There's going to be adjustments. Does anybody have any questions about that? Because remember, there's likely something contractual here with Venus opposite Saturn. Okay? There's something you're going to have to agree with or not agree with or make a choice about. But at the same time, it's more about things changing. You got the sun conjunct the south node. And so this is Saturday night. Yeah. And then we move into Virgo season. Happy birthday, all Virgos. Yeah. As of tomorrow night. Are any Virgos here? Are there any Virgo moons, by the way? Ruby's right behind me. Can you see her? Hold on. I have like 40 screens open. Can you see her? You can? Ruby. Okay. I love her. So she's it took a while for her. And again, if you're new, Ruby had 2 herniated discs. And then last year I had a situation where I had to go to the ER. Health stuff. It was during Virgo season. And when I came home, she was so excited to see me. She slipped and got a, what is it? Ligament tear in her knee. And she's going to be 14 in about, her birthday is September 11th. So she's going to be 14. So she's already elderly. And so she has muscle atrophy. And now she can't walk at all. But you can see she's doing her thing. She's doing her thing. It took her some time, but she can now kind of crawl along the ground. She wouldn't before. And that's why every time she needed something, I'd pick her up. And you've seen that in your forecast. I'm sure every sign at some point I had to leave the camera. I had to run over to grab Ruby and just hold her. Yeah, you've seen that. So again, there's a lot of Uranian 6th house Virgo activity happening in this home. Anyway, happy birthday, Virgos. My mom's a Virgo. Virgo moon. 4th house, 29 degrees. That's why remember, Virgo is all about service to others. Virgos, listen, that's the surgeon. Yeah. That's the researcher. That's the, Virgo is all about the details. What is it? Surgical precision. But they're the ones who care. They use Virgos work in hospitality. They're the ones who, right? And that's why with me being a Virgo moon at 29 degrees, was so potent. I have to take care of you. I have to take care of you. But anyway, Virgo season for the next 4 weeks, y'all are going to be going back to school. You're going to be going back to work. You're going to, going back to your daily routine. You're going to have your doctor visits. You're going to have your checkups. You're going to be filling up your calendar, being very organized. You're going to find out what's the greatest new app. Yeah. Remember, Virgo rules work, health, daily routines, and Ruby. I got to grab her. All right, baby. Come here. So, whenever she barks, it's one of 4 things. She either needs food, water, use the bathroom, or just needs to be shifted a bit, or she just needs to she wants attention. So for me, it's just easier just to grab her and hold her. Anyway, because I'll know if she has to use the bathroom. Like, she will wiggle. Now, so are we clear about Virgo season? You're going to be noticing a lot more than you did before. Again, it's all about the details. It's all about the, speaking of micromanaging, that's kind of, Virgos are, you can't win an argument with a Virgo. They're too analytical. And the reason I say this is because Mercury will move into Virgo as well. And Mercury is both in its domicile and exalted in Virgo. So it is the only sign that has a planet that's both at home and exalted, meaning does its best for you. Okay. And so you're just going to really feel that Virgo energy, a really big checking off your to-do list, almost like maybe even like summer cleaning. A lot of it's going to be up here as well, but you're really going to be in that analyst mode, like crunching the numbers. And like I said, it is a sign of the doctor, the surgeon, the analyst, the editor, right? The eagle eye, right? So the one who notices. You're definitely going to embody a lot of those traits. And tomorrow, when this happens, like I said, the moon will have just moved into Capricorn. And the moon in Capricorn is no nonsense, very career driven, very ambitious, and yeah, sure, a little bit sobering. But it's a far cry from the moon in Sagittarius that's very happy-go-lucky. So you got the sun in Virgo with the moon in Capricorn trine, okay? So that's really auspicious. This is going to be tomorrow night. Let me just see something real quick. Yeah. And remember, the sun, after it moves into Virgo, which is, a little after 10 p.m. tomorrow night, will immediately conjunct Regulus. And we'll talk about that in the, the next one, right? Your 12 signs. Oh, no, the bonus one. But the moon trine the sun, amazing. And so that brings, this element of just being a little bit more grounded, a little bit more practical, a little bit more realistic about what's happening within your orbit. You're going to feel this tomorrow night. But what did I say earlier, right? Virgo rules work. Yeah, your work environment. The moon's in Capricorn. Capricorn rules the 10th house. Career, ambition. There's a sense of leadership there too. So for a lot of y'all, yeah, if you go out tomorrow night, your mind's going to be on work, or you're going to be going out with colleagues, or you're going to be thinking about work, or you're going to be thinking about career, you're going to be thinking about profession, you're going to be thinking about how do I incorporate this into my daily routines, something that I do for work, or even just your passions, right? In a more structured way for the long term. Yeah. So it's got to be, again, a little bit more serious than tonight. And not only serious, but here's the other thing. You got the moon in Capricorn tomorrow night. You got the sun in Virgo. And what? That's at 0 degrees. You got the sun conjunct Regulus, trine the moon in Capricorn, which is also trine Chiron and Taurus. So I hope you haven't forgotten Chiron and Taurus, even though sometimes I won't bring it up because there's so much happening astrologically. We still have that. we remember the first time Chiron has been in Taurus in over 50 years. And so you're getting a preview of Chiron in Taurus in your life from 2027 to 2033, because Chiron's only here for a few more weeks. He's just sitting there retrograde at that 0 degree point. Therefore, you have a grand Earth trine with the moon, with the sun in Virgo, the moon in Capricorn, and Chiron and Taurus. Now, this is a little bit more emphasis on why you're going to have career and profession and work on your mind tomorrow night, even during the day. Because Chiron, the wounded healer, right? Your past wounds, the old injuries, the things that never fully close. Yeah. They're wounds. You heal these wounds. They're still there, but you heal them, right? Chiron is in Taurus, the sign of resources and finances and money and security and self-worth. And so, do you see, you've got the sun in the sign of work and your daily routines. You got the moon in the sign of career, ambition, long-term goals. And then you got Chiron in the sign of money, your earning potential, your resources, self-worth, self-value. So you got this grand air trine where these three planets, the two luminaries and the wounded healer, are all working together for you tomorrow night. All right. So it's a big window of opportunity to do some healing. Yeah. And it's all three earth signs. So again, you go out tomorrow night, that's fine. You're going to go, whether you go on a date, you go on a date with your husband, Jake, you go out with your friends, everyone calls you, the Archie crew. Y'all are going to talk about stability. You're going to talk about stability, the long-term stability, work matters, all of that. So it's a good time though. It's a grand Earth trine. So you see, you're going from a grand fire trine to a grand Earth trine, while the South Node has just conjunct the Sun, and Venus is opposite Saturn. So there's a lot that you can do tomorrow night that helps you move forward, because you are going to have this analytical mindset. And visibility too. A lot of y'all are seeking visibility, right? You still have Jupiter in Leo. Remember, Leo is the spotlight. You're not a backup dancer. This is your stage. And Mercury in Leo. Yeah. So you got things to say. You're not going to hold back. You're loud and proud about it. This is going to be a time. Any questions so far? I like what I love about these live streams is that I can just talk about a lot of the aspects that you just can't, because I don't have enough time to, right? But anyway, okay. So any questions so far? All right. So we talked about Saturday, tomorrow. I'm going to show you something. There is going to be also tomorrow. Well, when you think about the South Node, having just been activated, and Mercury's going to be on it pretty soon, but when the grand Earth trine, I just talked about Chiron being the wounded healer, that's going to be active in the grand Earth trine. It's almost like there's a sense of honesty as well. There's a sense of speaking from the heart in a very grounded way. A lot of focus on your relationships as well. But that dreamer energy is still there. Okay? It's still there. Now, Sunday, August 23rd. And I don't have a what do you call it? A moderator. I still don't have a moderator. I have a dog in one arm, so I would put these up on the screen, but yeah. Do you want me to you want me to show the chart? I always feel like it's boring. I always feel like when you see when you see the chart, it's just like I don't know if y'all follow it, or I always feel like it might be boring for y'all, so I never do. Anyway, Sunday, August 23rd. Here's the thing. There's a lot happening. So I think some of y'all talked about Neptune earlier. Yeah. Neptune is retrograde. So you are, that's the veil. You are starting to see things that you were meant to see, things that you saw perhaps in a very different way for some time, but now it's all hitting you, and there's things around you within your world that you're starting to see the reality of it. Yeah. I would say that paired with Uranus, that's in Gemini, that's going to square the eclipse. There is a big wake up call coming, okay, for you, for everybody. Yeah, that's Uranus. But again, everyone's going to feel it differently. Let me see. Yeah, so here's the thing. Tomorrow, it looks like we are going to have another T-square. It's going to be a little bit fleeting because it does involve the moon in Capricorn. That's going to, there it is. Yeah. It's not like crazy bad, but Sunday morning for a lot of y'all, you may feel this. You're going to feel the moon opposite Mars in Cancer. Remember, Mars doesn't do well in Cancer. The moon doesn't do well in Capricorn. And they're both going to square Neptune in Aries. And it's not the tightest square. I mean, it's a T-square, right? So you're still going to feel it. The other thing is, you're really going to feel Ceres, all right? Ceres is Virgo's planetoid, dwarf planet. Same as like Pluto, they both pack a big punch. Ceres is a big deal. Ceres is all about nurturing, self-care. Ceres is in Mars, or I'm sorry, Ceres is in Cancer, the house of, nurturing. And so there's something to be said here with Ceres square Neptune. All right. I think I already talked about this in your monthly forecast. Maybe I talked about it in the bonus spread. Just know tomorrow, not only are you still on this healing journey, because the sun, remember, is trine Chiron, even though the moon's passed on, but you have this T-square, and then you have the square with Neptune and Ceres. And so, and the moon opposite Mars. Yeah. In a tug of war with a god of war. So there is going to be a little bit of, you might wake up Sunday morning feeling a little foggy with Ceres square Neptune. Your motivation could get a little bit soft. You might not have all the facts. Okay? But with the sun in Virgo, there is a sense of you might feel so confident that you're right about something, and everyone else is going to feel that way. I said earlier, you can't ever win an argument with a Virgo because they're Virgos, known, the sign Virgo is known for, it's perfectionism. And so Virgos cannot be wrong. They have all the details. They crunch the numbers. They have the data. They can't be wrong. And so you might feel that. You might feel the sense of confidence. And this is throughout the morning, could be throughout the afternoon too, where you feel this sense of confidence in knowing the truth of the matter, what you're saying is right, but you might not believe yourself with this square to Neptune. And then Ceres, who is nurturing. Ceres is the goddess of agriculture. Here's the thing. I've talked about Ceres, so just remember, we talked about Ceres. Sunday morning, with Ceres square Neptune in Aries. Remember, Neptune in Aries is that spiritual warrior archetype. Ceres in Cancer is super nurturing and can be a little bit over nurturing, overprotective. Squaring Neptune, there could be a sense of, do you really care about nurturing someone that you're nurturing? And it doesn't have, and when I say nurturing, it could be, maybe you're on a phone call with a friend and you're saying some things and they're just, talking about how the date they went on with, I don't know, the other night at the TGI Fridays, the person, ordered French fries and they were just so upset about that because they don't like French fries. Well, you're talking to your friend and this happened to them and you're just so confused. There's going to be a lot of confusing conversations because you got Ceres square Neptune. And you're like, well, do I nurture or do I over nurture? Do I feel like I need to really protect her? Is this a situation where, like you're just going to be there? You're just going to be confused. So let the fog pass. Yeah. Let the fog pass. I would also probably, I know it's a Sunday with Ceres square Neptune. I'd probably not sign anything. Yeah. I would also, well, let me see what else is happening that morning. Yeah, I mean, you have that T square. And then you still have Saturn opposite Venus. Yeah. They're not really speaking to each other. They're in that opposition. So what a great morning to sleep in. All right. Here's the thing. And nobody's really talked about this. And I'm going to start bringing up a little bit more in your forecast because it has a lot of meaning. August 23rd, Sunday to the 24th, you're going to have, well, let me see until what time. You're going to have the moon pretty much all day. All right. So this goes for Sunday into Monday now. You're going to have the moon in Capricorn and Mars in Cancer. Yeah. Mars happens to be exalted in Capricorn, where the moon is. And the moon, as we know, rules Cancer. So you've got this mutual reception. Well, it's mixed mutual reception. So these two planets are sitting in signs like that. Their other homes. Normally, because you're going to have the moon opposite Mars, right? Capricorn is the opposite sign of Cancer. Normally, this would be, to have a little bit of friction, maybe a little bit of a struggle. But because of the mutual reception, it's like they can talk to each other. Yeah, they can talk to each other. So this is still Sunday morning. Yeah, I told you there's a lot happening Sunday morning. It's a good time to sleep in because Mars, remember, does his least best in Cancer. So he's in his fall and he's a little frustrated. He doesn't like being in Cancer, but the moon, right, is holding his exaltation. And so even though you've got this opposition where you would wake up feeling angry, you want to break things, you're oversensitive, someone poked you, you're the bear. Someone told you that they love the pancakes you make and you get really mad just because. That's what's happening. But because it's a mutual reception, you might feel a little bit of tension, right? But there won't be any damage. All right. And remember, this is fleeting. The moon moves fast. Now, on Tuesday, I'm going to skip a lot of things, but there really isn't that many big aspects until we get to the eclipse. But there's going to be one more thing I tell you. And Tuesday has got to be one of the most so much happening Tuesday. Is anybody got a birthday on Tuesday or something big planned on Tuesday? August 25th? Anyone? Bueller? All right. So Tuesday, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 6 really big aspects happening. And we're not going to talk about all of them. We'll do it in your forecasts when I do all 12 signs, your supersized version, which will be, the normal new format version. But the moon will conjunct Juno. And then Mercury will conjunct the South Node. It looks like Mercury, yeah. So Mercury's going to conjunct the South Node in Leo and then move into Virgo. Mercury, like I said, is at home in Virgo, but also exalted in Virgo. Mercury is the ruler of both Gemini and Virgo. Okay. So that's great. You've got Mercury in its home sign and Venus in her home sign. Mercury will then immediately conjunct Regulus, the fixed star, the royal star, right? Authority, leadership, things like that. And then the moon will conjunct Pluto. I mean, there's a lot happening. So a lot of you can feel emotionally amplified, and there's going to be some things you're going to say on the way out. You're going to have the last word. That is Tuesday. All right. Now, the other thing about what's happening on Tuesday, remember the sun is in Virgo. Yeah. And Mercury is going to be in Leo. Let's see. Yeah. Conjunct the South Node. That's going to happen. Oh, that's going to happen at night as well. Okay. But here's the thing. That's just the perfection. The perfection is going to be around yeah. The perfection's going to be, there it is, around 6 in the morning on Tuesday. Meaning you're still going to feel it all day Tuesday. Yeah. And even the day before Monday, like Monday night. The good news is Mercury moves fast, right? So here's the thing. The first thing is that from Saturday night until Tuesday morning, you have the sun in Virgo and Mercury in Leo. So you've got mutual reception there too, because the sun rules Leo, Mercury rules Virgo. Yeah. So, and Mercury's also exalted in Virgo. And so that's why Saturday to Tuesday, you're going to feel like what's going on up here is finally, working with or cooperating with your identity. Yeah. What you think and who you are. Get together, have, pop open a glass of champagne. You're going to feel really good. Okay. This is the exact moment that Mercury is going to hit the South Node, though. So the reception is really handing Mercury off to itself. So when Mercury conjunct the South Node, remember, you're going to start feeling it over the weekend. And on Monday, it happens. Tuesday morning is the perfection, is the peak of it. Yeah, expect, this is, again, we talked about the South Node. Yeah. So it's exactly as you would think Mercury conjunct the South Node in Leo would be. It's people that may resurface from your past because you need to finalize something. Yeah. Maybe there's some news you receive about something that something's over, or it's your sign that this has to end. Okay. You've learned your lessons. Remember, that's a South Node. Okay. Think of one of those scary movies where the villain who was, burned alive isn't actually dead. All right. And for the final girl, it's that one last jump scare. And she's got to, finish her job. But at the same time, there's a lesson in there for her. Here's the thing. Sometimes it's you, right? Sometimes it's you that's come back to someone else for that one last jump scare. You're like, okay, you know what? We need to have this talk. We need to have this conversation. Sometimes it's a thought that you have. Sometimes it's an idea. Sometimes it's something that's been, percolating for years. Yeah. For some of y'all, 19 years. Last time we had Mercury conjunct the South Node in Leo. And now it's over. So you see how from today till Tuesday, it's a lot of release. It's a lot of things that you're ending. It's a lot of things that you're releasing and letting go. Okay. Again, South Node, consider it a void this week where you want to put things in there. All right. And a lot of this, again, it really just depends on your chart. But a lot of y'all with Mercury moving into Virgo, just that landing conjuncting Regulus, and the sun is right there. And yes, we're going to have a Mercury Cazimi, but your clarity does start right away. So that South Node does help. It does help you release the things that you need to release. And remember, Mercury is in its strongest position out of every sign in Virgo. Communicate. Have the talk you need to talk, right? The conversation you need to have. You're gonna be able to strategize, analyze. Those things are top of the charts for you. And so again, Virgo is the only sign in the entire zodiac where the planet is both in rulership and exaltation. Doesn't happen anywhere else. And Mercury in Virgo is doing its absolute best work. And even more than Venus in Libra, okay? Because remember, Venus rules Libra and Taurus. but just rulership. Yeah, Venus is exalted in Pisces. Anyway, and Mercury in Virgo, very different from Mercury in Gemini, even though Mercury rules both. Very, very different. Gemini is more, if Virgo's analytical, which you're going to be doing, remember, you're going to be the data analyst, you're going to be the precise surgeon, chef, things like that, right? All about precision, the details. Mercury and Gemini, that's different. That's more like creative mind. Yeah, very social, chatty, very spirited, gossipy, loves talking, loves new things. It's got 30 million tabs open on their computer. That's, yeah. Mercury and Virgo has got 4 tabs and they're in groups and they're anyway. So Mercury will conjunct Juno as well. And so remember, Juno is Libra's asteroid. And so with Venus opposite Saturn, that brings a lot of attention to relationships. Even the fact that you have the Sun in Leo conjunct the South Node in Leo. A lot of relationship matters. Mercury in Leo crossing over as well. Relationship matters. You got Jupiter in Leo. You've got a lot of energy around partnerships and relationships, contracts, the long term. That's going to be the big theme for you. And again, things are going to be not moving as, fast and furious as the past few months. Now, Thursday, we will have the Mercury Cazimi. And why is this such a big deal? Well, the Mercury is going to be in the heart of the sun. So think of that alignment. And Thursday, that's the day, right? So Mercury Cazimi, this huge moment of clarity, this huge aha moment, even a wake-up call, right? This refresh of the mind with Mercury in the sign it does its best. A lot of y'all are going to see things in ways that you needed to see. And everything is going to start making sense for you because you're coming out of those squares with Neptune. But the Cazimi is happening at 4 degrees, 27 minutes. The full moon lunar eclipse, 4 degrees, 54 minutes. It's the same degree. And so Thursday is technically when the eclipse is happening. So the full moon lunar eclipse, it's happening Friday, August 28th, but it's happening just right after midnight. So it's straddling August 27th, August 28th. And so technically, yeah, it's the 28th, but you're going to feel it strongly on Thursday. In fact, I would say most of y'all are going to feel it more on Thursday because everything that's happening with this lunar eclipse, you've got the Mercury Cazimi opposite the moon that's at 4 degrees, and Mercury is literally set on fire, right? In the heart of the sun. This Cazimi brings so much clarity, especially this analytical mind, but it's amplifying this eclipse where it's a full moon, which illuminates, right? But it's a full moon times 100. And it's all about ending. So you're going to have 2 things are going to happen to you. One, everything that's been happening to you, all the things that you have noticed, like you're letting go or have been being released or taken from you. This full moon is when you realize, now I know, because it's a full moon with a Cazimi. Okay. The other thing is, a lot of y'all are going to know, you're going to have that moment of like, I now know what I need to do. Because again, full moon that illuminates for you, as well as the Mercury Cazimi. But then what did I say earlier? This full moon lunar eclipse is going to square Uranus and Gemini. And so Uranus, the great awakener, wake-up calls on top of a Mercury cazimi with a lunar eclipse. This is one really huge aha moment. It's a huge wake-up call. All right? It's a square. It's 3 wake-up calls happening at one time. 3 things that are going to be illuminated for you in one day. All right? And here's the other thing. In that same window, before, okay, where is it? I saw that, I spotted this earlier. Yeah, there it is. Oh my gosh. So on that Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, 2:45. So within an hour, within 2 hours of that Mercury cazimi, the moon in Aquarius is going to conjunct the North Node in Aquarius at 29 degrees. So not only will you have this refresh of the mind, this nice, like, oh, I get it, I see it, I can do a Rubik's cube like in my head. I don't even need hands for that. It's such a analytical mind right now. But you're going to have so much clarity about your future. Remember, the North Node is the direction you're going that happens to be in the sign of the future, of your future goals and hopes and wishes and dreams. And so Thursday is one big daddy of a day. It's going to be one big daddy of a day because, wow, you have a Mercury cazimi happening at the same time. The moon is going to conjunct the North Node in Aquarius at the anaretic degree, right before the moon moves into Pisces and literally starts the eclipse. Yeah. The phase actually begins later that night. I think the first phase. But wow. And remember, the square to Uranus is going to happen. You're going to feel it that day. Let me see. Yeah. You are going to feel the sun's the sun's going to square Uranus, by the way. Just so you know. And that is still happening. That's going to perfect on Friday. So you're going to feel that, right? The sun's opposite the moon. You have a T square right there with Uranus, with the sun, with the moon. But then again, you got Mercury conjunct the sun, the Mercury cazimi. So you got Mercury square Uranus. So you got, again, 2 T squares baked into this lunar eclipse that's happening the same day. The moon will conjunct the North Node in Aquarius, all about your future, where you have this huge moment of clarity with the Mercury cazimi. You throw in Uranus squaring the sun and the moon and Mercury. This is a huge awakening, okay? It's a huge wake-up call with the lunar eclipse bringing a little bit of emotion to your big wake-up call. And so I would mark Thursday in your calendar, okay? Let me see. Is there anything else before? And by the way, here's the other thing. It's so funny. I was telling someone earlier, I had physical therapy today. I was telling, I have to explain a lot of. He didn't know anything about astrology. I was like, because I know it's chart. Anyway. I was like, oh, you're gonna feel this eclipse because he's the Virgo rising. Now, here's the thing: who's gonna feel this eclipse the most? Well, everybody. You've got so many planets involved, and we're not even done. But here's the thing. Everyone's going to feel it. However, obviously, if you're a Pisces or if you're a Virgo, this is it. This is it. Okay. You've got this lunar eclipse. First of all, before we even go there, think about what happened for you September 7th, 2025. We had a total full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Yeah. So it's the most recent one on this axis. Yeah. I would start here. I always give you dates to look back to. And so think about what happened around that time. Give it a month before and after. Yeah. What ended? What was completing? What did you want to complete? What did you want to just, oh, I don't want this anymore? Or what did you move toward? Yeah. And in order to move towards something or forward, you had to give something up, or things had to change, or what changed and you were completely unaware of it coming. Eclipses are kind of like Uranus. Like, remember, they can eclipse things from your life and you're just like, whoa, right? Kind of like what I was saying earlier, that colleague that you work with, or the boss that you have quits on the spot and you're like, what? You were on tenure or whatever. Anyway, think of September 7th, 2025. The other date I want you to think about, if you want to get an idea of what's happening for you with this eclipse, August 28th, 2007. How crazy is that? This eclipse is happening on August 28th, 2026. Not only to the day 19 years ago, this eclipse is at 4 degrees, 54 minutes. The eclipse that we had August 28th, 2026, again, 19 years ago to the day, this eclipse, 4 degrees, 46 minutes. And so if there's anything that happened around that time, it's going to be like deja vu. This is 8 arc minutes. I'm like, that's insane. So what was happening in your life late August 2007 and through the end of the year? Remember, eclipses are cycles. So you feel the energy, right? Up to a year, but I'm 6 months. That's me. Yeah. The first 2 weeks and the first 2 months, you feel the most. But it's in Pisces. And it was in Pisces. That was a total lunar eclipse as well. What were you dreaming about? What were you ready to quit? What did you quit? What were you, pretending was fine until you couldn't take it anymore? And you were just like, this has got to end. Yeah. So this is actually, this whole family of eclipses, it's actually ending. This is the last of the sorrow cycle that started like 140 years ago. But anyway, that's how big this eclipse is. And remember, we have the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, right? Since February 2025. So there's familiarity with this eclipse in Pisces. You have the North Node in Pisces for a year and a half. Yeah. So you're checking out. You're checking out with a big wake up call. All right. Big moment of clarity. I wonder if, and that's the other thing, by the way, because Pisces, hold on, I'm just going to give her, there you go, baby. Because Pisces energy is so spiritual. It's, again, imagination, it's creative. There's something just genuinely magical in that Pisces energy. But the lower expressions of Pisces, and please be mindful of this because of the double T square. Not only does this even, it amplifies that energy of something being eclipsed from your life, maybe suddenly with Uranus, out of the blue, unexpectedly, right? Keep that in mind. Uranus is a planet of the unexpected and surprises, yes, but also chaos, but also breakthroughs. You can use this, yeah. There could be some sudden reversals, by the way, things that you were expecting that don't come, things like that. All right. There could be activity with Uranus and Gemini squaring this eclipse. There could be activity with your siblings, family members, yeah, distant family members, aunts and cousins, neighbors even. Are you traveling, by the way? There could be some, disruptions with travel. Maybe there's something that happens with your blog, your website, your social media. There could be some messages. It's Uranus and Gemini, okay? You have a Mercury Cazimi. You got Mercury that's basically just come after conjuncting Regulus, yeah? And conjunct the Sun, squaring Uranus. Mercury being the lower octave of Uranus. They're both at play here. And so you've got the messenger planet, you got the sign of communication, and you've got a bigger, messenger that comes unexpected. And so there's going to be a little bit of confusion. There's going to be a little bit of restlessness with Uranus and Gemini squaring the sun and the moon and Mercury. Yeah. And remember, Mercury rules Gemini as well. So Mercury sitting over there and Virgo looking over at Uranus. And it's like, you're going to get some news. It's very likely. It's also very likely you may announce something, or there may be an announcement. Okay. So things being eclipsed. You can also think about the energy of Pisces. A lunar eclipse in Pisces is very emotional. Pisces, remember the two fish, right? One swimming, upstream, one swimming downstream. There's a sense of like this and that, this and that. Anyway, Pisces is all about faith, compassion, art, everything that I mentioned. It's very spiritual, but at the same time, you might see those lower expressions come out. And I really want you to be mindful of this, okay? It can be everything from like escapism on Thursday. Yeah. You have that moment of clarity with the Mercury Cazimi. Oh my gosh, my art teacher is secretly teaching math. I'm allergic to math. He comes into the art room every day. Whatever it is, there's gonna be some things that you don't expect that can put you in this place of isolation, escapism, addiction. Pisces is also like self-sabotage. It's known for that victim energy. And these are the lower expressions of the sign, okay? So this eclipse can, bring the wolves out. They're hungry for fish. And there's so much happening, as you can see. You got a Cazimi, you got an eclipse, you got two T squares, you got the moon conjunct, the north node, all in one day. I mean, what? So really big eclipse. It's not going to be quiet. It's going to be emotional. You may even be over analyzing things. But remember, even in tarot, the moon is attributed to Pisces. Just think about the two fish, not knowing whether to go upstream, downstream. There could be, that restlessness that I talked about, even sleeplessness with a big old full moon that's an eclipse. There's this emotional reckoning, maybe even upheaval. But you can use this, right? So from this weekend until that eclipse moment, it's all about release. It's all about things letting go. It's all about the self note taking. And then when you get to the actual eclipse, you got Uranus square the moon and the sun. You can use that. Remember, Uranus is breakthroughs. It's like the Eight of Swords, right? How she's, surrounded by those swords. She's got the blindfold. She feels trapped, but she put herself there, right? She can break free. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have clarity around, or you're going to hear unexpected, but you can break free. You can make this work for you. Let this be your wake-up call. Yeah. The fog is going to be clear. All right. You're going to feel very restless. What do you do with that energy? You're going to put it toward your imagination, toward creativity, compassion, all the things that make your world divine. That's Pisces energy. So again, this is a time of resolution. Pisces is the end of the zodiac wheel. It's the last sign. It's endings. It's surrender. A lunar eclipse is endings. And you've got all these south node conjunctions leading up to it with all these big moments of clarity with Mercury, the planet of the mind and communication and thoughts and ideas, in the best sign it can be. So you're going to end something and you're going to move on. And you're going to feel maybe a little, impulsive. But again, it is a mutable T square Z, meaning there's flexibility here. All right. That's the gift here in the, shape. So Pisces being that dreamer energy, as I always say, don't dream big, dream bigger. And I'm doubling down on that because you've got Mercury and Virgo. You're not drifting away with a dream. You got a dream and you're planning. And you've got that precision and that excitement to put things in order for you, right? Your daily routines, okay? So this is going to be the week that gives. Not as in like someone handing you something or you handing someone something, but giving into something that no longer works. And now you recognize it. And at the end of the day, this is, it's a gift. It's a Jupiter ruled eclipse. All right. The moon's in Pisces. The traditional ruler of Pisces is Jupiter. And look what happens right after on that Monday. You got Jupiter trine Saturn. And you're actually going to feel Jupiter trine Saturn during that eclipse on, Friday. But I mean, like, you're really going to feel it. It's a strong trine. Remember, trines are in your favor. They're this flow makes things, easier for you. You're going to feel it. I mean, and remember, they're they move slower, right? Jupiter and Saturn. So you're going to feel it as soon as Monday, like this Monday in 3 days. And then from here, it just builds. Yeah. It builds to its perfection. That's going to be on August 28th, that Friday. No? Oh, no, I'm sorry. August 31st is when it perfects. But it's still, Jupiter's still 13 degrees throughout the weekend. Remember, they move slow, so you're still going to feel it during the eclipse through the weekend. So even though you're leaving things, Jupiter's handing you something back. Okay. And Saturn is there. Remember, Jupiter's luck, good fortune, wisdom, all that. You know that, right? Saturn's there and he makes things official. He's the one that's going to make things long term. And remember, this traces back to the Jupiter Saturn conjunction, December 21st, 2020. What happened for you during that time? What did you launch? What did you launch that became long term? Well, here's your harvest. Here's your harvest. And one of the reasons why you're going to feel fired up, even though you remember Mars will square Saturn. So you're between two squares, right? With the eclipse, Jupiter trine Saturn. That weekend, the moon will be in Aries. And so what's really crazy about that is that Sunday, was it August 30th? Yeah. You're going to have the moon in Aries, which is the beginning, right? It's like that ambitious, being proactive. You can't sit still. You got to do things, launch things, make things happen. The moon is going to sextile Pluto, conjunct Neptune, sextile Uranus, trine Jupiter. And what's really crazy is that the moon will also conjunct Saturn. So it's not just Jupiter trine Saturn, it's Jupiter trine Saturn conjunct the moon. While Mars is square Saturn too, which we'll talk about. But there you go. You got more mutual reception. And this is by domicile with the moon in Aries and Mars in Cancer, right? The moon rules Cancer, Mars rules Aries. They're in each other's houses, right? That's a mutual reception. And it's, this mechanical thing. Even through a hard aspect, they can help each other out. Okay? It's like that movie, The House That Looks or something, The Last House. I never saw it, but I saw the trailer where they're trapped in their houses, but they can hold up signs that have big words on it. I'm like, the house is just there. You can shout. Anyway, but I didn't see the movie. That's what this is. They can still talk. They can connect. They can say, look, you're in my home, but I'm going to let you be a guest. Okay? I'm going to let you be a guest this time. I don't want to ever see you here again. I'm going to let you be a guest. All right? Because, yeah, when you got the moon square Mars, when you've got Mars in Cancer, it's not great. But this mutual reception, it's kind of like the two planets can do really, they can do things in the other people's homes. And those other people know, right? The planets know they're there. But it's almost like they turn a blind eye. Because they're being nice, that's their home. But at the same time, it's their home. And they don't want to do anything for that other planet to, break a pot or whatever it is. Anyway, you're going to feel really charged up and there's going to be no damage. All right. Just know when Jupiter trines Saturn, again, Mars will square Saturn. So that does take a little bit from the Jupiter Saturn trine. And remember, this is just the first of many. There's going to be several more. They're coming in 2027. So this is really great. And we'll talk more about this, but this is one of the best aspects. It's a feel-good aspect. This is the payoff. You made it to the Jupiter Saturn trine, all right? Through the, eclipse in Pisces, yeah, water sign. And then you got Mars square Saturn on the other side, Mars in Cancer, water sign. This is your life raft, all right? So you made it here. This is where you're going to feel that luck, that expansion, that growth, structure that Saturn brings, that discipline, that sense of commitment. Yeah. So again, you're going to see a little bit of that harvest. And with that harvest, that inspires you. So even though there may be some heavy, emotional, angry, aspects surrounding you, it's like you're on a life raft and there's all these sharks in the water. You're still going to feel very inspired. You're not going to be afraid of the sharks. In fact, you're going to look over and they're going to be like toy sharks. All right. That's Jupiter, Saturn, lifeboat energy. And it really is a great aspect. And you're really going to feel it. You're really going to start feeling it build too. But just again, on top of it all is all these other things, like a lunar eclipse is a big deal. What else? And that's really it. And Mars square Saturn, yeah, we'll talk more about that in your thing. Anyway, does anybody have any questions? Jupiter trine Saturn, by the way, it is going to help you build the thing that you want expanded and blessed. Yeah. But your heart's got to be in it. All right. This is Jupiter in Leo, right? The heart. Okay. Saturn in Aries as well. Your heart's got to be in it. You're going to see the growth. You're going to get the wisdom that you've been seeking. And you're a human being, where it's natural human behavior to want to see something that we planted grow and then be proud of yourself for this growth at this point that you started way back in December 2020. That's the aspect working. Yeah. This is your, lifeboat. This is you after going through all that, hard stuff, hard emotional stuff, all that letting go. Remember, Saturn tests you, right? That's his job. You're going to get to see what you grew. And it's going to inspire you. Again, that's just how we're built. It's going to put a smile on your face. It's going to motivate you to take inspired action, to continue the growth. You're going to feel it all weekend and even days before. But remember, the perfection will be on August 31st, Monday, around 6 p.m. All right. Remember, Saturn is a malefic, but he is the authority and he does help. He's in the mood to help you win. He's with Jupiter. So you've got the advantage here. And he's going to help build that bridge. And he's going to take you far. All right. It's one of those things where, he's just, it's like Saturn is also, you know what it is? What's that movie? Is it Children of Men? Is that, I gotta look it up. I gotta Google it. There's a movie with Clive Owen. I don't know if y'all remember it. There's a movie with Clive Owen. I saw it so long ago where there was like no babies. Yeah. You see that movie? And then there was the woman that was pregnant. Like there were no babies. Nobody was born. There was no births for like, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years. And then at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie, but I don't even know the name of it. I think it's called The Children of Men or something. At the end of the movie, when she gives birth, and they're like being followed by all these army men with guns. I don't remember why. Anyway, I forget why, but she gave birth to this kid. And there was a scene when Clive Owen and this woman with the baby were walking out, and all the soldiers, hundreds of soldiers with guns, army guys that were going to shoot them. They just stood there, and they saw this crying baby. Remember, nobody's seen a baby born in decades. It was illegal or something to have birth, but or in this movie, I don't remember what it was. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, Clive Owen and this woman walk out, and these army people, they're trying to kill them, don't. And they're just kind of gaping at this crying baby because they've never seen it. They've never seen a baby. They've never seen a crying baby. And they literally part as Clive Owen and the woman walk toward a boat, right? They part like Moses in the sea. They part to create this pathway to get out of the way of this woman with a crying baby and Clive Owen, because they knew that there was something here meaningful. They were seeing it with their own eyes. That's Jupiter trine Saturn, okay? That's what you're going to feel. Saturn is going to be the soldiers that doesn't shoot. He parts his way, okay? And he's like, I'm going to help you get to that boat so you can take this crying thing over the sea or wherever you got to go. All right? Jupiter's the baby. Going to grow. There's that growth. All right? So anyway, and Saturn is retrograde, by the way. So any opportunity or blessing that comes through this is going to be something that you already started, maybe, something that you abandoned that you're coming back to. I mean, that's a blessing in itself, right? Always feels good to finish what you started. So anyway, that's August. Any questions? That's the rest of August. Yeah. And I wonder if let me see. Oh, why don't I show you this real quick, and then I'll take some questions. But oh my gosh, it's 7. Oh my gosh. Okay. The funny thing is I am a Gemini rising. A lot of y'all knew that, and a Virgo moon. Mercury is my chart ruler, and an Aquarius sun, so double air. But I am that person that has like 5,000 tabs open on my screen, just to let you know. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. It's not gonna open. Let me see if I can just do a screenshot. I don't know if that. Okay, so I'm gonna show you something because this is kind of like a real life thing, but it's also like a good. I'm showing you something that's like, this is what's happening in real time to give you an idea of what you can expect with what you're about to experience with the sun conjunct the south node, with Mercury conjunct the south node. You're gonna have a lot of planets pass over. You're eventually going to have Jupiter with the south node as well, but with Mars, by the way. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Let me see if I can do this in a way where, and then I gotta let you. Oh gosh, and then I gotta do. Okay, that's fine. But then I gotta take Ruby out. Anyway, where are we? Where are you? There you are. Oh, yes. Okay. What? All right, save. Here we go. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm going to show you a very interesting thing that's incredibly like rare, but also I feel like I've shown you stuff before. But I'm going to show you something that's interesting. Mm, all right. Oh, there we go. Okay, it worked. So you probably, I don't know if you can you see my arrow? I'm going to show you this. Look. So this is my chart. And this is, Astro Gold. But this is my chart right here. And then this is the sky chart, right? This is today. I just took a screenshot because I didn't know how to hook it up to the thing. Anyway, you see this here. So I'm going to show you something really rare. Okay, so let's start with Saturn. Saturn is in my 11th house, right? Saturn moved into Aries back in February. I think it was February 11th, 2026. So you can see Saturn crossed my natal south node. Yeah. My south node is in Aries. And Saturn did that, I think over the summer was right on my degree. Saturn is retrograde. So for everybody, every single one of you, Saturn is sitting there at 14 degrees. Yeah. And so Saturn is conjunct my south node. It's a 7-degree orb, but it's still there, right? And it's been there all summer. It was actually pretty exact over the summer. So you see that Saturn conjunct the south node, right? Now, if you look down here, this is what's happening in the sky. You see the south node in Leo. You see the sun, 28 degrees, 54 minutes, right? Pretty much conjunct the south node right now as I speak. And then you see Mercury, 22 degrees, will eventually conjunct the south node. So everyone is feeling this. You're going to feel it, especially tomorrow. You look here, you see my natal Saturn is at 28 degrees, 34 minutes, conjunct Regulus, 29 degrees, 31 minutes. You see that the south node in Leo, that south node that just moved into Leo on July 26th, about a month ago, and, north node in Aquarius at the same time, 29 degrees. They're going to sit there at that 29 degree point for another month or so. You see that the south node is conjunct my Saturn. So Saturn conjunct my south node conjunct my Saturn. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is rare. Remember what I said, the south node is what you release, and the south node being a karmic point in the sky takes. Yeah. And so Saturn on top of my south node in my 11th house. What is the 11th house? It's your friends. It's your friendships, groups, associations, your future goals, your audience. It's the masses, things like that. So Saturn, the planet of restrictions and limitations, the planet of karma on the south node of fate, has been taking y'all away from me. Okay. Taking away my friends. I haven't seen my friends in a really long time because of everything that's been happening, which is fine. But you see that's happening in real time. Saturn will sit here for some time and then again retrograde back to 7 degrees, literally on my south node in December. So he's taking all the y'all away from me with the south node up until December. At the same time, you see the south node in Leo, the sun obviously conjunct, but that's going to pass. That south node in Leo conjunct my natal Saturn. the third house, Saturn and the South Node are working together to take away my voice. You see Saturn's conjunct Regulus as well. So taking away my voice, literally the mic. You've seen all the mic issues I've had. But the third house is communication, it's messages, it's the way you communicate, it's speaking. It's literally what I'm doing right now. And so, again, this is just not normal. It's like 1 in a quintillion chance that this is happening at the same time, and will continue to for the rest of the year. And so Saturn and the South Node have been taking y'all away, my friends away, the people away, but also my voice, right? You've seen that. I've had to reformat my videos. I can't, literally am unable to film 12 videos a week anymore until this passes. This is astrology in real time, in real life. This is how real astrology is. You can see Saturn is also opposite my natal Pluto. Yeah. You see Mars here in Cancer is square my nodes. So I have a T-square with Mars. Anyway, this is all fun. But this right here is what I'm saying. If you have any planets 28, 29 degrees in Leo, you're going through the same thing. Saturn and the South Node is taking something away from you. They're telling me, for instance, we're taking away your audience. We don't want you to connect with, your subscribers. We're going to take away that. We're not going to let you do the videos. You have to change something about it. So when I say take away, it's more, think of, again, that void. And so Saturn is presenting these limitations 2 ways, right? So really restricting me. It's been kind of crazy because they're destined. There's no other way around it. It wasn't my choice to do these new format videos. It just gradually happened to the point where Saturn, which is old bones, right? Saturn rules your bones. And considering the, medical issues that I've been going through. Anyway, this could be a deep dive. If you have any planets here in Leo, right? 28, 29 degrees, there's something that you're going to have to adjust. Even if you don't have planets there, it doesn't matter. You're still going to feel it, right? It's by whole sign. Same thing here, right? Saturn, if you have anything in Aries in that part of your chart, right? Around 14 degrees, you've been feeling Saturn. You've been feeling limitations and restrictions, something where you have to learn, right? And then you've got to look at all the angular houses. So if you have anything in your chart 14 degrees, well, I'd say 12 to 16 degrees in Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're going to feel it, right? Those are squares and oppositions. So, but I thought this would be helpful for you to, it's just been so hard to explain. Like, I didn't decide to, do this new format, do less, less volume, etc. The planets decided. And it's up to me to understand why I have to move in a new direction, but that's what they want. And they will not let me do your normal, 12. So that's that. I don't know how to take this out. So, I guess, there we go. Oh, I don't know how to take that out. Oh, I'm so not good at this. Oh. Anyway, well, that's for Max. I didn't do that. Oh my gosh. Oh. This one? No, that's back to... Anyway, you know what? Oh, there's a button here. Delete. Oh, no. There we go. Okay, so let's this is long. Let's anybody any like questions, anything? All right. We're going to go by sign by sign. I was going to... All right, let me just do this real quick. I'm just going to give you a heads up. We're going to do a in the moment. What's your message? Yeah. For every sign. So Aries, let me tell you what your message is. Okay. I start with Aries. Unless, actually, you know what? Let's start with Virgo. It's Virgo season as of, couple hours tomorrow. Virgo. Should we do that? Remember, I'm an Aquarius. It's such an Aquarius thing. I'm not going to start with Aries. Okay. Are we okay with starting with Virgo? Let's start with Virgo. Okay. Happy birthday, Virgo. And always let me know if you can like hear me and things like that. If my mic is off, if it's weird, because remember, Uranus is going to be on my ascendant again when Uranus is going retrograde in September. And so, that's going to be all the outer planets in September. And then remember, Venus is going retrograde. Mercury is going retrograde. We're going to have half the solar system retrograde at one point. More than half. We'll talk about that. Virgo. Well, okay. Oh, Ruby. Okay. I got to do this fast because Ruby wants to play. All right. So basically, everything that I said, the biggest thing, okay, we're going to, you know what? Let me just start with the Aries. Let's just do, let me be simple because it's easier for the timestamps. All right. So Aries, and then I'm going to pull a card too. So Aries, for the rest of August, I honestly, listen, everything is going to be work career for you. All right. Everything's going to be work career. A lot of creative energy. I really want you to harness with that lunar eclipse in Pisces. I feel like there's so many other things that's happening for Aries that it's almost like all over the place, but you're still adjusting to Saturn in your sign. You're adjusting to Neptune in your sign. You have not ever had that, right? And so that's only been a couple months. And then you had all these crazy things happen. You had like 7 planets in your sign when you had your new moon. So you've gone through a lot. I would have to say that for this lunar eclipse in Pisces, I mean, that is your 12th. But again, you've got those 2 T-squares. You've got your ruler Mars that's going to, West Side Story with Saturn in your sign. That's like a whole thing. So I would say focus on you, but put emphasis on where you feel integrated with what you want to do professionally or just passionately, like if you're retired or whatnot, because there is this emphasis on the dreams ending. The real world is about to begin for Aries. Okay. And we'll obviously talk a lot more about it when we get to your thing, when I get to it, but there's just so much to talk about here. It really is almost like, I don't want to call it a rebirth, but true ending happening for you. Okay. And it's more about the dream. whether the dream has been accomplished or maybe you've made different changes or something changes around the eclipse. But Virgo season, like, you're just going to be a little bit more focused. Yeah. All right, let's do this and have the conversations you need to have. You're going to have Mercury and Virgo in your 6th, and I want you to, go, get your checkups too, health wise. So Aries, what you got to know? What's your big message? Oh, you're going to be fine. You're going to be good. Okay. So go celebrate. You got the 4 wands. I'm using the Tempest for you. Oh, that's the other. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I got to bring up the other screen because I want to make sure that you can see the deck when I do this. So Aries, you got your own card, by the way. 4 of Wands is your card. And it is a card of like, you made it, you're feeling free. So there is a sense of you're going to feel free. So if you feel like some things have ended, because there's a lot of endings here. If you feel like things have ended and it's like, oh, it was in your favor. Remember, the payoff is literally the last day of the month, Jupiter trine Saturn in your sign. Okay, Saturn in your sign. You're good. All right, Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. The big thing here, yeah, you're a lot of, listen, here's the thing. I already told you this. A lot of y'all have been hunkering down, relationships, renewal in relationships, new relationships, maybe new relationship with yourself. You've been seeing less of your, friends, because that's just the evolution of Taurus right now. It's a time where this lunar eclipse is in your 11th house. So there's going to be changes. Your future, you've been really focused on your future, by the way, and your career. But it's almost like you don't have the time that you had, with your friends and your groups. It's like high school, right? You graduate, you go to college, you can't, it's like there's an expiration date on things. But the big thing is you've got Chiron at 0 degrees in your sign. We talked about the grand Earth trine. All right. So you're going through a lot of healing. Now, what's happening, and I really want you to remember this because you're going to forget. Chiron's in your sign for a few more weeks. You've never experienced Chiron in your sign. Yeah. Well, if you're over 50, yeah. But when Chiron was discovered, it was in Taurus. So Chiron's going to be in your sign for 7 years. What does that mean? Chiron is basically switching out with Uranus that was in your sign for 7 years. So anything that Uranus disrupted, now Chiron's here to heal. Okay. You're going to do a lot of healing because that's happening, and that's opened up some wounds, right? A lot of it with self-worth, self-value. No, stop doubting yourself. You got Neptune and Aries in your 12th house. That's why you're doubting yourself. Okay. Don't let others also but that's your week. Okay. All this Virgo energy, have fun with it. All right. The one thing I will say with Mercury and Virgo, that's great with relationships, creativity. You're just going to be so organized. That's, anything that happens in Virgo is going to trine your sign, whether you're Taurus, sun, moon, rising. That's amazing. That's amazing. But I like this week for you. It's just, you're going to be focusing on, really, when I say renewal, this is you, right? With Chiron in your sign, focusing on past wounds in Virgo season, all about, health anyway. And I would also say, be mindful. I feel like a lot of you are going to be changing your diets. Okay. So let's see. And of course, we'll do your bigger reading. I'll do it when I get to it tomorrow-ish. Taurus. So you see, oh, my guys, so it's just, all right. Oh, there's something happening with family too for you. There are changes this weekend into next week. Okay. There's going to be some changes. You got the Page of Pentacles. Good for you. New you. I told you, you got it. You're going through it. It is a new you. All right. That's the other thing. Money's a big thing for you right now. All right. Pay attention to the eclipse. All right. That's going to be, you're going to hear some money news. You got Uranus and Gemini. That's your second house. You have Chiron in your sign. Like, you're going to hear some money stuff. But Page of Pentacles is great. There's someone coming in too for a lot of y'all. New energy. And again, it does look like some of y'all are having babies. Congratulations. Yeah. Oh, you really are. At least, well, a lot of y'all are having like serious conversations about it too. With Mercury and Virgo in your fifth. Anyway. All right, Taurus, tomorrow we do the bigger one. Now, Gemini. Oh my goodness. Gemini, listen. This is okay, so out of all the signs, all the 12 signs, Gemini, you are up there. All right, you're up there in terms of you're gonna have some changes. All right, it doesn't matter if you're Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're gonna have changes with this lunar eclipse in Pisces in your 10th house of career and fame and ambition and leadership. But remember, Uranus is in your sign. Yeah, that's gonna square the sun. It's gonna square the moon. Okay, and also Mercury. So there's going to be, this is all your angular, like all your angular houses, you're going to have some changes, right? With career, home and family and relationships, but mostly career and home. You might have to make a big decision, but remember, this is actually really, really good for you. You've got Mercury moving into Virgo, which is really great. A lot of energy around home and family. A lot of y'all, it looks like you signing like leases and whatnot. There's stuff happening there. Yeah, I still see a lot of legal matters that you're going through. There might be some resolution. That might come a little bit later in the year, more like December, okay? But there's going to be some energy around that with love and money too. All this with a grand Earth trine with Capricorn. And then lastly, I would say it looks like a lot of y'all really, it definitely is going to be an emotional rest of August. So really be mindful of just, it's very emotional for you. Especially because you've been working with this. I mean, you had Saturn and Pisces for so long. You were robbed when you had your Jupiter return, Jupiter in your sign 2024 to 2025, when we had a Jupiter Saturn squares. So you were robbed of your celestial year of many months of that. And so this is it. This is the end of the story. Everything changes for you after this eclipse in an amazing way. Jupiter's really bringing something special. Okay. Really, really, really special. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Like that Jupiter Saturn trine is so good for you. Ruby. Okay. Yep. 8 of Wands. You're good. You don't even have to you're fine. Listen, you're going to get what you want. You're going to get what you want. You got the 8 of Wands. Good for you. Contracts, agreements. There's so much energy around that. But the 8 of Wands, yeah, a lot of enthusiasm. So you're gonna, it feels really good. Anyway, y'all, I know I'm like Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The big thing for you is there's definitely going to be some changes with your relationships, partnerships. A lot of it's going to be career related, and good stuff, right? You're going to have a Jupiter Saturn trine. That's your second and your 10th. This eclipse, I mean, you are, fellow water sign. You're really going to feel it. Yeah, but it's trine your sign. That Uranus, like in Gemini, the Uranus square, even the Mercury square, I would definitely do not sign anything. I would avoid signing anything the rest of August. you can just, avoid anything after August 26th, 27th, because it looks like you're ready to sign something. But the other thing is you're ready to sign something to end something too. And it may not even be a signature. It may just be like some sort of agreement. Yeah. There's some paperwork I see. And it looks like it's a good time to travel as well. I would take advantage of that. Maybe after the eclipse. Or even before is fine too. Just during the eclipse, there just might be some unexpected things that happen, but more like things like you never saw coming. And it could be anything, like a ghost. All right, so Cancer, you're actually really good, but let's wait until we get to the Mars Saturn square. Remember, Mars is in your sign. There's some career stuff happening. Okay, just let you know toward the end of the month that there may be someone you don't see eye to eye with. But that Jupiter, oh my gosh, that Jupiter Saturn trine is really great. Yep, you're fine. Listen, Queen of Wands, you're good. That's the thing. That the Jupiter Saturn trine is like, huge upgrade, huge blessing there. All right, so Cancer, and don't be overprotective. You're in overprotective mode. You might be thinking a little too like defensive. You're fine. I mean, protect what's yours, but remember you have Ceres in your sign too. That's why. Squaring Neptune. So a lot of it may be like you're protecting something that's like, why am I? All right. Leo. Happy birthday, Leo. Couple more hours. Leo, I honestly, you guys have big changes. This eclipse is your big, death and rebirth moment. It's a huge eclipse. There's a lot of it looks like there's money stuff happening. It's kind of like your big theme. This rest of August will be around money. And there's you that's changing. You're changing, and a lot of it will be career related too. There's a lot of career energy, but the biggest thing here is your relationships, your relationship with money, how you save money, how you spend money, etc., etc., etc. Don't get in your head too much. That's the only thing that I see, especially with Mars and Cancer in your 12. There just maybe when we get to the Mars Saturn square, you're going to see there, and even with Mars opposite the moon, there's going to be some people that you thought you trusted that you're like, there could be, even like maybe fraud. There can be like deception there. You might, but it's like, it's a good thing it's coming out, making you like work with that. But there's so much money stuff to get excited about. Resources, all of that. It does look like there's something, I don't know, like it's like you're just really ready to plan for the future. All right, let's do it. Leo, what do you got to know? What's your big message here? Yeah. You got the 5 of Cups. So, just remember what I said. You're going to have the sun conjunct the south node in your sign tomorrow. You're going to have Mercury conjunct the south node in your sign on Tuesday. And you're going to have a couple other, remember, even with this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, that's in your 8th house of death and rebirth and transformation. So the universe is gonna taketh once you to have this rebirth moment at the end of your birthday season. But you have the benefit of Jupiter in your sign for a whole year, so you've got that protection there. Just know that there's something that may truly end. Okay, with that 5 of Cups. I'll clarify. I want to see what you're fine. It could be something that has to do with like legal matters, some conversation. I feel you really need to have at this point. Like you can't avoid it anymore. And it might be you that's like, we need to talk. Virgo, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Virgo. It's your birthday season. Honestly, it's your birthday season. Listen, the lunar eclipse, your 7th house, partnerships, relationships. A lot of it's going to have to do with career matters. There's something here where do you want to be a leader? Do you want to lead? Do you want to be in that manager position? Do you want to start your own thing? There's a lot for you that's happening. I think that you're going to have this huge awakening, and it's going to come with a big ending. And so remember, you have the Mercury Cazimi happening on the day of the eclipse. You got Mercury and the eclipse squaring Uranus in your 10th house of career. So there's going to be some surprises, surprise elements. I mean, you have the sun in your sign, you have Mercury in your sign. There's some conversations that you're definitely, you need to have. All right. But I do like Jupiter. I like Jupiter hooking up with Saturn in your 8th. That's the other thing is like, have you been limiting yourself from growing? Like that's something that you have to really see during this eclipse. All right. So okay. Virgo, where are we? 10 of Swords. It's over. Okay. Up here. Stop. You know, that's the thing about Virgos. I can't tell you to stop overthinking. That's what Virgos do. Over analyzing. That's what you do. But you see, the eclipse has plans for you this whole week with all these conjunctions that are happening in your, 12th house, the South Node, right? So up here, it's almost like just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Okay. There's the universe taketh, but you're meant to, it's almost like everything up here. The way that you see things, the way that you speak, the way that you communicate, even the way that it just feels like if you do feel lonely, if you feel alone, you know how you can feel that like in a friendship or in a relationship. That's almost like what you're overthinking something here. Let things illuminate. All right. Libra Nation. I see you. Yeah. You're good. You're fine. You don't even need, you're good. Libra, you're fine. All right. So, okay. Well, you're good. This, you got a lunar eclipse in Pisces. I've been telling you, you got changes. You've been going through changes with job, with career. I honestly would just let this lunar eclipse illuminate. I would just do some checkups. Yeah. Health wise, there may be something that needs to be looked at. We are in Virgo season. So it's like, let's really look into this. The eclipse is happening in your 6th house, but otherwise, I mean, the other thing is you might feel a little bit of a slowdown and you might have a little bit of confusion around career and what you want to do and what's happening with career. But at the same time, you're thriving. Like things are good. Relationships are good. You might have an argument with a family member though this week. Let's see what's going on. And you're stay frost. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Let's see. What's the big message for Libra? What do they got to know? Libra, you got to, yeah, you're good. You're gonna, everything's about to change. You got the Fool. There you go. There's your, Uranian energy right there. Take those risks. Take that leap of faith. You're good. Like I've been saying, like Libra's good. Anyway, you're fine. You're on this brand new journey. You're about to have this huge, big moment. It's huge, huge, huge. With just have full faith in yourself. Have faith in the universe. There's a lot that's happening. And if you feel like that things are changing, like shifting, it looks like some old friends are coming back too, by the way. All right. They're going to come back into the picture. And I know these are brief. Remember, I'm going to do your fuller version tomorrow. This is 2.5 hours. I'm literally not supposed to be sitting this long. Scorpio, because of let me take this thing. Okay. Scorpio, I mean, listen, just, that you're going to have some changes with, relationships. And I'm not saying it a bad thing. There's just going to be, it feels more next stage, next level. I feel like for you, some of y'all are getting, there's a sense of like intimacy on a level that you've never known that you might experience. Okay. You might actually experience something with a relationship, partnership, friendship, love, marriage. It could be pretty next level. There's some sort of investment happening that could even surprise you, or you do something to break through a wall. But yeah, I honestly think that a lot of it's going to be like, yeah, like a sexual revolution that you might have. You're a Scorpio. You get it. All right. Anyway, career looks really good for you. Scorpio, let's see what's going on for you. Oh, career looks like insane good for you. Yeah, you got the Empress. You're fine. You're good. You're going to get everything you want. The Empress, come on. Abundance and luxury. And yeah, Ruby, come here. I got you. The birth of new things. And even Scorpios, I've been telling y'all having babies. A lot of y'all are having babies very soon. Congratulations. You got Pluto in Aquarius as well. You got the North Node in Aquarius. Yeah, a lot of changes at home, family. But even if you're not having a baby, there's some new stuff happening there. But then also, remember, I talked about this harvest with Jupiter and Saturn. Yeah, you're good. You're good. The Empress, all about that new crop, the birth of new things, and abundance and love and sexual energy. Anyway, but also maternal. Sagittarius, you're kind of, you're good. You're just caught in the crosshairs of this eclipse with the fact that, you have the moon in Pisces, you have the sun in Virgo, and then in your opposite sign, you got Uranus. So by default, you're forming this, this mutable cross. But that's fine. Listen, I feel like this is more of an epiphany week for you, with a heavy focus on where you stand in career. Yeah. Career, how you want to be seen, how you want to be recognized. But you're having fun. You have this huge window with Jupiter, your ruler, trine Saturn. That's a huge doorway for you. Okay. If you feel like you haven't been having fun, or if you've been restricting yourself from having fun, have a big moment with Jupiter trine Saturn. But we'll talk more about it tomorrow. Okay. Let's see. Sagittarius, what do you got to know? Yeah. What I say. You got the moon, right? And the moon in tarot attributed to the Pisces. Pay attention to this eclipse. That's what the universe is saying. Okay. That's in your 4th house of home and family. You've been having a lot of stuff happening there. That's why you can't have fun. You got so much. Yeah. But then at the same time, you got the moon. Are you sleeping? What's going on? This is a lot of you've got to really go within. Let things out. Don't hold things in. But you got Saturn and Aries in your 5th. That's, you got to let yourself have some fun. And I think you will. I think you will. I mean, you are the Miley Cyrus of the signs, right? Miley is a Sagittarius. Brad Pitt. Capricorn, you got the moon in your sign. That's always good for you. You're going to love that. We already talked about that. The Grand Earth Trine, this lunar eclipse, your third, your ninth. Are you traveling? Capricorns, if you're traveling, you might plan a trip or you might end a trip that you were planning. You might also, it looks like a lot of y'all are, there's something you have to communicate. And it does look pretty official. Like you're going to be a little, no nonsense. I would expect some changes with love and money too. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. Which one do you want? I'm going to give you Tarot the Divine. Okay. You're going to have some big changes with, it's like when we talk about messages that you might receive. Yeah. I just feel like there is going to be something that has to do with, just be very mindful with, with like love, partnerships, business partners, sex too, and money. But yeah, this is a week you're going to see some big changes with your relationships, how you evolve with them. It's almost like you're trying to have fun too, but you've got now some stuff happening at home. Let's see what's going on. And we'll obviously talk more about it, but I just feel like there's going to be some things we're going to have to say during the eclipse. Even before. Yeah. The 2 of Wands. Okay. So again, it just feels like you might feel like you're in a good spot. You might feel like you've gotten to a good spot. You might feel like you want to get to a good spot. 2 of Wands is fine. It's a great card. It's attributed to Mars and Aries. But the thing is, it's almost like you're waiting for a sign. You're waiting for something else. No, you can't do that. You got the moon in your sign, Grand Earth Trine, Earth Trine, and this eclipse that's, actually really good. I don't mind it for you. I do not mind it for you. The lunar eclipse in Pisces, okay? It's sextile your sign. Like, anyway, all right. So Aquarius, we'll talk about more tomorrow. Aquarius, let me see. Aquarius, Team Aquarius, by the way, we are the whoosh, yeah. Aquarius, here's the thing, okay? This eclipse, just pay attention. There's a lot happening with you and how you feel about yourself. And there's going to be some stuff that has to do with money and finances. It is your second house. But the bigger thing would be Uranus and Gemini, your ruler, okay? Because Uranus is still trine Pluto in your sign. You also still have Neptune sextile Pluto in your sign. You've got so many of these like undertones of other things that are happening. But Uranus and Gemini, that's your 5th house. And so I would just, there's something here that it feels more of a breakthrough for you. But you're going to have to make some adjustments with your relationships. And you're going to see some relationships, contracts, agreements as well. That's like the big thing that's happening. All right. Your commitments. We'll talk about it more in your thing. That's going to be your biggest focus. You're feeling it now too. Okay. And this can be work. It can be, people that work for you. It can be contractors. It could be your manager, your boss. It could be your lover, the person you're dating. Oh, there's a lot of energy there. It's about to get really deep, and you're really gonna you're going for the jugular, all right, this week. All right, let's see. Aquarius, as in things that got to be your way. All right. What's your big message? Yeah, Seven of Pentacles. Money, career, and stop looking at the past when it comes to relationships. You're going to have to let things go. All right. And again, Leo's our opposite sign. So tomorrow, when you have the sun conjunct the South Node in Leo, there you have Mercury and all of that. That's your seventh house, relationships. There's some things about relationships, partnerships. And the Seven of Pentacles, very interesting, very interesting. Yeah, it's almost like you're gonna have to let those go. The universe might just take, right? But is it what you wanted anyway? I think that I think you're just in this place of, with Neptune retrograde in your third, it just, I feel like Virgo season, Mercury and Virgo is going to help you focus. And you're going to know. You're going to know. And we'll talk more about it tomorrow. Pisces. Oh my gosh. By the way, I ran into someone, like I was out with Ruby and I got to take her out again. I can't believe this is like 3 hours. I was like just out with her and someone stopped by and said hi. And she was like, I watch your videos. And then she was really, really sweet. And she said she was a Pisces. So this is for the Pisces that lives in my neighborhood. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, this is your eclipse. This is your eclipse. What do you want to let go? What do you want to surrender? This is all about you. And I really am going to like dig a little bit more into this in your, bigger forecast. Just thinking of the family of eclipses that have happened for you, there's a huge storyline that's ending now. Like I said, this is the end of the Saros cycle. Like this is the series. Like it's done. This is an ending. And then you've got that new moon in Virgo next month. That's really great for you. So yeah. I feel like there's changes happening with work. I feel like there's been a lot of changes with relationships, but this week you may feel a little bit of a slowdown with relationships, family matters as well, because you need to focus on you. That's all it is. Okay, you need to focus on you. There's gonna be some things that you're gonna have to recognize, and it will have to do with relationships. So you're gonna get the Tempest. Pisces. Spicy Pisces. All right. So, oh my gosh. What time? Okay. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Pisces, what do you think you got? I want who? Okay, let me just hold it up here. If there's any Pisces there. Anyway, I'll just say I'm not gonna. All right. Well, there you go. There's your affirmation. You got the Two of Cups. It's all about love. It's all about love. Love and partnerships. It doesn't have to be, romantic. It can be platonic. It can be work, but it's the Two of Cups. It's the beginning of something really beautiful. There's a new chapter. But it requires like you. Yeah. Are you in or are you out? Right. It looks like you're in. But again, yeah, I would use this eclipse to just kind of, it's more like for you clearing the air. But there does feel, with Uranus involved, there might be something with like family matters that just kind of like, it's like a Ben Stiller movie, right? There's just like, oh, come on. Like you're in bed with and then knock, knock, knock. Oh, here's Uncle Tony. Like, I don't know. Like, anyway, there's going to be some surprises. It could even be like landlord stuff, realtor, things like that. Anyway, y'all, I gotta go. I did not know this was gonna be this long. I don't even know if anyone's still here. I can't even see the thing. I have so many screens open. My voice is gone. Oh, there you are. All right. I gotta take Ruby out. All right. So y'all, thank you so much. Ruby says bye. She's like, get me, I gotta go. Body. Do you have the body? Y'all, happy Friday. happy everything that we talked about. Happy Virgo season. have an amazing weekend. And yeah, I'll work on your videos again. Remember, I just hoping for tomorrow. I can do all your videos, but let's see. Every day it's a different day for me with my back, with my spine. You never know. Sometimes I can be in a doctor's office all day. You just never know. It depends on how I feel. So and I'm literally not like, I have a doctor thing where I can't sit. I cannot sit more than anyway, I won't even talk about it. But thank you so much, y'all. That was so much fun. All right, I'm gonna go. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here. And I don't know how to do this, but there's, oh my gosh, thank you all for the super stickers. Those just popped up. What? Thank you for becoming a member, Mix Media Plus. Y'all are amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Y'all, oh my god. Okay, so I gotta go. I gotta take Ruby out. This was fun. This was so much fun. Tell me if you like, so the format is like, I cannot do the well, anyway, everything I said earlier, but tell me if you like this format. I think I might do these. I don't know. We'll see. But y'all are amazing. All right. I'll see you next time. Have an amazing weekend. I have no idea how to. All right, there it is. Too many screens. Y'all, Moon and Sagittarius, go have fun. All right. Go explore, go do things. Bye-bye. I'll see y'all so very soon. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.